Thinking about moving to Charlottesville? Well, today I am breaking down the top pros and cons of living in the Charlottesville area, so you can decide if this is going to be the right fit for you. Stay close. One of these cons, once you hear it, you might actually decide right then and there that you don't want any part and decide this is not the right place for you. All right, let's jump into it. So Charlottesville, it's beautiful, it's vibrant, and it's full of charm. But let's get real about one big downside. Housing affordability. Buying or renting in Charlottesville isn't as easy or affordable as it used to be. In general, our area runs about 10% over the national average. Overall, you're looking at least, if you're looking for new construction and a decent home, in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. Now, if you want one of the it areas, or if you want new construction, I really want you to be prepared that you're probably looking at over $600,000. Rentals, well, now I don't do rentals. Our area, you just don't need me to do them and to find them or to negotiate it, but I'm happy to give you my feedback. You just don't need me as an agent. Charlottesville's not set up that way for rentals, but you will need deep pockets and really good credit. I want you to think a 2-bedroom on average is going to be between $1,750 a month and $2,200 a month. Again, that's going to be average for a 2-bedroom, anywhere from, say, $1,800 to $2,200 a month. And that is with nothing special. So if you have pets, a specific location, or you want say a garage, or certain some things that are just not average, then you're probably looking at least the upper limit, if not a little bit more. So I want you to know that and recognize that. Plus, from rising home prices and limited inventory and hidden costs, no sugarcoating here. Just straight talk that you need before making the move. So call, email, or text me and let me answer the questions that you may have. Charlottesville is home to major employers in the fields of education, military and contracting, healthcare, technology, research, and innovation, and of course, tourism. The job market here has been on the rise, and with employers such as National Ground Intelligence Center, the Department of Defense, Emerson, Northrop Grumman, University of Virginia, Monticello, Centera, CFA Institute, and so many more. We have 2 World UNESCO Heritage Sites. Truly, if you're looking to make a place home because of the opportunities, Charlottesville could be it for you. Families love it here because of the highly rated public schools, especially in areas like Charlottesville proper, Albemarle, Greene, and many, many of the others. Hello, the University of Virginia. We are based on great education, no matter if it's public, private, or honestly even homeschooling, alternative schooling, or the options absolutely are so varied and are all so very well supported. This is one I have brought up before, so check out some of my other videos. And my specific case, my daughter actually went through the full gamut. We actually, she was in private school to begin with, and then we went into the public schools, and then we ended up going homeschooling And then honestly, by the time I think she was 12 or 13, she was actually in the community college. And then years later, my daughter, I am proud to say, graduated from the University of Virginia Law School. So proud, Mama, absolutely. But every child is different and every educational experience is different. That is one of the great things about having such amazing schools. We have schools with a Spanish immersion program that's part of the curriculum. Our county high schools have advanced schools that your student can apply to, and there are not any additional fees or cost involved in them. And we have state-renowned schools. I don't believe it's called it anymore, but it was Virginia Institute for Autism. I believe it's Virginia Neurodivergent School now, not positive. But what I'm trying to get is we have the full spectrum, and that is another huge draw because each child has their own unique needs. And in the case of my daughter, you know what? Like I said, we ended up going full spectrum from private to public to homeschooling. And I'm a proud mama because she's an amazing kid and she's done well for herself. So, total pro. Next thing I want to talk about, amenities. And this honestly is going to be oh hell yeah. Everything you can imagine, it's going to be a huge pro. From amazing restaurants, breweries, hiking trails, walkable downtown, public park, public access to the river. There's always something to do. Restaurants, we do farm to table. We do different amazingly well. From food trucks to vineyard dinners with wine pairings to locally owned places such as Hamilton's or the Ivy Inn for that specialty dinner. If you have $4 or $400 to spend, we got you covered. Vineyards, breweries, cideries, and even distilleries. We have them all. No matter what direction or cost, what your budget is, you can enjoy a Sunday with your pup and the special person in your life, sipping a lovely glass of bubbles or whatever you love, under the sunshine with a brilliant, beautiful breeze blowing in your hair. Activities, hello, again, due to the location, whether you want to go hiking in the mountains, in the Shenandoah, or the Blue Ridge, or fly fishing in the river, catching bass in the Rivanna. Love horseback riding? Great. Our area has everything from steeplechasing to fox hunting to leisurely trail rides, no matter what your age or experience is. Truthfully, about 2 weeks ago, I had an afternoon that freed up. And honestly, I always keep shoes in the back of my car. So I called up one of my favorite places to go horseback riding. And within an hour, I was up in the mountains, taking it in with a nice little zen, going back and forth on the horse. So it's so easy and so accessible. So this one is interesting. Check out Charlottesville on places that you seek your information, such as niche.com. They give Charlottesville a solid C. But that's for the actual city, and the community metropolitan-ish area that we call Charlottesville. Well, yes, if you Google Charlottesville, some not so great things associated with us are going to instantly pop up. No matter if it's the alt-right or the death of UVA student Yardley Love, but honestly, I have grown up here, and yes, we used to never lock our doors or our cars, but now that's just an easy invitation for crimes of convenience. I can't really call this one a pro or a con. Facts are facts, and there is enough going on, and the sites you can find the statistics, and I'm just going to say, you decide. But I feel perfectly safe here, always have, and I can't imagine being otherwise. Am I afraid to walk honestly, anywhere in the area by myself during the day? No, I'm not. So it's very funny that we happened upon one of Albemarle County's finest as I am out walking about and talking to you. But you know what? It is what it is. They're out here. They're keeping us safe. They're making sure it is safe to walk around and be part of the county, be part of Charlottesville. But would I go and get drunk and walk around in the middle of the night? No, because that's just asking for trouble. And no, I'm not leaving my doors open. I'm not leaving my car unlocked. And I'm not leaving my purse in my car so people can see it. Those are just all crimes of convenience. Okay, before he pulls me up, I'm going to get out of here. Come on, let's go. Well, I hop back in the car. I believe, I can still see him in my mirror. But I didn't want to be recording too long with the officer because I don't ever want them to feel that I am interfering. But I did think that was funny. So back to crime and safety. I told you there's no place that I wouldn't feel absolutely safe walking by myself during the day. At night, am I going to get drunk? Am I going to go somewhere and walk by myself? No, because you know what? Like my mama said, like your mama said, like everybody says, nothing good is going to happen in the middle of the night, especially if you're being stupid. And let's just face it. Overall, I believe Charlottesville in the general area, is a very safe community. Get different statistics. When you get here, if you're going to visit, we can talk about it. We can check those areas out. I can show you whatnot. But absolutely, I'm not trying to be subtle. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. Was not born to be subtle. But reach out. Let's chat. And if you're going to be in town, awesome. Let's meet up and see how this would best work for you to see if Charlottesville would be a good fit. Make sure you text, call, or email me. Okay, moving on. Let's see what's next. Well, that is quality of life and community. And here's all I'm going to say. Pro. Overall, honestly, we are a welcoming and tolerant area. A huge reason why I'm getting so many calls from all over the United States. Community, we enjoy and encourage each other. Festivals, music, art, gay pride, Festival of the Book, Tom Tom Festival, Vegetarian Festival, River Festival, the SPCA Ball. Events for everyone. Fishing, fly fishing, swimming, paddleboarding, horseback riding, kayaking, mountain biking, road and street biking. My runners, oh my gosh, Charlottesville 10 miler, the women's 4 miler, huge community involvement, all so fun and welcoming. Blessing of the Hounds, Foxfield, Farm to Table, farmers markets, the list just goes on and on. If you really want to make those connections, to slow down and to just take it in, welcome to Charlottesville. So now let's chat about location. here is a huge real pro. I want you to visualize not only Charlottesville and the postcard ideas of farms and mountains. I want you to think bigger picture. Okay, what do I mean by that? We are 2 hours south of our nation's capital. That is like having a playground of museums, events, protests, activities, shopping. Hello, 2 hours away. And it also gives us access up in the DC region to 3 major airports: DCA, IAD, and BWI. Okay, so one of those pushes into the Baltimore, Maryland area. But again, same token, you can drive up there the same morning that you are leaving on a cruise out of the port of Baltimore. So you could drive up in the morning and by afternoon be on your way to the Caribbean. Hello, what is not to love about that? And as far as the DC airports, so my best friend, she travels with me, and well, she was going to get her global entry. And so the closest place for us to get global entry interview was actually at the airport up there. Holy crap, so easy. We went yesterday morning. I drove up, picked her up in Green, grabbed our Starbucks coffee, headed up, laughed all the way, got there, parked directly across from the terminal, walked our happy little butt across the street up with a crosswalk, went in through the arrivals, down the hall. We were an hour early for her appointment. Guess what? We sat down. We weren't even sitting for 10 minutes and they called her. We were there, in, out, interviewed, and gone before her actual appointment time. But again, it's that access, that easy access. So we've talked about DC up in the northern. We are an hour west of our state capital. Again, Richmond, huge area that gives us huge, see when I say this, DC, Richmond, both, huge areas, concrete jungles, but you get all the shopping, you get all the theaters, not movie theaters, like real theaters, Broadway, that kind of stuff. You get all the museums, including like Richmond has a really, really cool children's museum that is hands-on. Fabulous for a full day of fun for little ones. Or on that same token, we're only a couple of hours west of Williamsburg, Virginia, lovingly called Butterworld. It is what it is. We used to have season passes when our daughter was little. We would just go down to Williamsburg. We'd go down, we'd walk around through all the historical homes. We'd eat some, overly priced food, pet some really cute sheep and horses, and then we'd be home before dinner. So again, so easy. Also, the closest international airport is actually going to be Williamsburg Airport, which is international. So if you think about it, you're driving east and it is going to be right outside of Richmond. So it actually covers both Richmond and Williamsburg. So officially it's the Williamsburg and Richmond Airport. All right, keep going east. We know you have Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach, only about 3 hours away. And for my cruise-loving viewers, another cruise port. Norfolk is going to give you another option. So again, you can drive the morning of your cruise departure, pick up your cruise, safely park your car. You don't have to pay for a hotel. You don't have to pay for an Uber to get anywhere. You just drive to the port, park at the port, and then go enjoy your time floating around in the middle of the ocean. If you hate flying and you hate cruising, That's okay. Again, because of our location, Charlottesville actually has an Amtrak station. I know, lots of places have Amtrak stations, but Charlottesville's Amtrak station actually services 3 major lines. So with those 3 major routes, you've got the Cardinal, the Crescent, and the Northeast Regional, all feeding out of Charlottesville. So I often will jump on and go up to New York for a weekend. A couple of girlfriends and I will jump on. We'll go see a show at Broadway, have some phenomenal food. Oh, another one. Hello. You can get to New Orleans from Charlottesville on the Amtrak. Hello to my New Orleans viewers. I know you're out there because some of you were just recently here and because you're thinking about living in Charlottesville. Boston, yes. Chicago, yes. Ohio, yes. So simple. Charlotte, Atlanta, all of those accessible by Amtrak. But the best part is with our location, we get this all tucked away into the Blue Ridge without the concrete jungle and all the craziness. See why I said our location was a huge pro? All right, let's see what's up next. So are you curious what it is really like to live in the Charlottesville, Virginia year-round? From blazing summers to surprise snowfalls, I'm going to break down the good, the bad, and the humid. But Charlottesville enjoys all 4 seasons, so I'm going to put this as a definite pro. Sometimes a little dramatically, but sometimes all of our weather is in one single day. Whatever. Again, part of the charm of Charlottesville. Spring burst into the blooming of dogwoods and temperatures in the 60s and 70s. But allergy season can suck. And no offense, everyone in the family will end up with allergies, including the 4-legged babies. Summers, well, they can get hot and humid with July highs often in the upper 80s to low 90s, plus occasional thunderstorms that seem to pop up out of nowhere. Fall is a local favorite, mild temperatures, crisp air, and stunning mountain foliage. Well, wrapping that up, you got winters, generally mild, occasional snow, and that's more charming than chaotic. Usually we see 1 to 2-ish decent snowfalls a year, but don't be fooled. Temperatures can swing wildly, and layering is honestly the best lifestyle choice there is here. To me, it's all about a pro, no matter what. Seriously, we can enjoy 8 to 10 months of the year outside. Probably why one of my most requested things from people who are looking to relocate to our area is a screened-in patio or screened-in porch. Because you may not be out and about, but boy, you can just sit outside on your screened-in porch and enjoy the weather. Or hop on down here to the river and take it in as well, right? Oh, okay, so this one comes as both a pro and a con. Let's say con first. Traffic. Now, if you are used to the I-4 in Florida or Interstate 40 in California, we are a huge pro. But if you're thinking small town and little traffic, well, then there are areas that drive folks nuts. And honestly, the complaints fly frequently. We had an intersection that was the deadliest in the state. Virginia Department of Traffic came in, redid it, put in this case, a double traffic circle in one of the sections, removed left turns, and everyone is still complaining to this date. It was too complicated for them to deal with. They preferred the deadliest intersection ever, but now it's a lot safer. So driving into Pantops, yeah, can easily become a bottleneck. But again, that little bump for all of this charm, hello. And on the other hand, commuting, hands down pro. I swear to you, it's a time warp of Charlottesville, but it takes 15 minutes to go anywhere and everywhere, which is so funny to me. Not sure how that time continuum works, but from here to downtown, 15 minutes. Here to North 29, 15 minutes. Heading out to Fluvanna, okay, well that one's probably pushing closer to 20. All right, let's find out what else we can see. If you're looking for a buzzing nightlife or that 24/7 energy, the city is going to definitely feel a little sleepy. Well, actually, it will feel sleepy. Charlottesville is the big draw, and the sidewalks roll up at 9 p.m. Surrounding areas, probably closer to 6 p.m. Really, honestly. Not saying across the board, but if you want to go midnight Walmarting or Targeting, not happening. You want Grubhub at 3 a.m.? Great. Nothing is open to be cooked or delivered. So you're going to be warned. I'm warning you now. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, let's see what's next. All right, so we are wrapping up here. I could honestly make this list go on and on and on. But there's a couple things that I want to sort of jumble up together in the same section. So as I wrap it up here, here's a couple of blatant cons. Charlottesville area, well, let's say sometimes it feels like we make up our own pronunciation, our own rules for driving. And in fairness, I want you to know that because I know often people visit here, they come to visit me and then they're like, what is going on? So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. Let's talk pronunciations real quick. I'm going to give you the top 3 and not a big deal. I know every place has their little idiosyncrasies. Well, here's Charlottesville. Number 1, Rio Road. R-I-O, Rio Road. A lot of people will tell you once you live here, it's actually named after Route 10. No. There's a whole story. Ask me to tell you about it. It's the whole story about the War of Northern Aggression and Rio Mills, which is located on Rio Road. So Rio, R-I-O, is pronounced like the bread. Rio Road. Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's little mountain home. Monticello. Many people will ask and think it's pronounced Monticello, which it looks like, which it should be, but we don't do that here. Monticello. And then the other top third one that I hear about most often, Crozet. And if you're interested in Crozet, check out my other videos. Lots of videos on Crozet. Actually, I just did one on Ivy, which is on the way to Crozet. Anyways, crow, like the flying crow bird, zay, Crozet, not crozet. So there's your top 3 pronunciations that we just make up our own on. Now, the next thing I was mentioning, driving. Sometimes it feels like we have created and have our own driving rules. One of those, I swear to you, is the use of blinkers. Be forewarned, I grew up, I use blinkers for everything because they're used to tell people what you're going to do. But my husband and everybody else, my coworkers, I swear to you, nobody else uses blinkers. So be warned. Don't say I didn't warn you. And for whatever, however, folks here do not know what a yield sign means. It means for you to stop and only proceed if it is clear. Here, it is interpreted as speed up and get on the road, whether or not there are cars coming or not. Please follow what it actually means and yield until it is safe, because I want you to be safe. And that's what it means. Specifically thinking of 250 Park Street and that area in there. But so yes, there you go. We have our own little things. But let me mention something else real quick while we're talking about driving. Virginia, the great Commonwealth, does not, no radar detectors. So we have a lot of known speed traps. When you come to visit, check out the area. I will give you the heads up where those are. But we do not, and it can get you in trouble and give you another ticket. No radar detectors are allowed in the entire state. So be forewarned. All right. So who is Charlottesville good for? Because if you've seen my other videos, I'm all about admitting Charlottesville is not perfect for everybody. And that's why I'm trying to give you the pros and the cons in a realistic view and world. Because again, Charlottesville is not going to be the right fit for everybody. And I want you to know that. I want to acknowledge that. But number one thing I'm going to say, families who are looking for good education, good quality education, hands down, good quality of life, good public education. It's really what we were founded on and what we have grown on, and it still holds true today. Retirees who want options for great health care, an amazing senior center, and access to other again, going back to the quality of life, other quality of life things such as OLLI, Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, and honestly, just moderate weather, right? Because again, we actually, like I've mentioned before, the weather here is absolutely moderate. And that's why we see a lot of folks retiring here. They are done with the 125 degrees 9 months out of the year, or they're done with the 9 months out of the year where it's freezing or below. So here, it's a nice, moderate temperature. Young professionals who need job opportunities and a vibrant downtown, great music scene. All of those scream young professionals. And who else might want to look elsewhere? Well, if you need housing that is serviced by public transportation or that is under $300,000, it's probably not going to be the easiest area. We have both, but it is a very, very small pool. So I just want to make sure you're aware about that. Because again, I am not trying to just con you into coming here. It's an issue. If you need that city buzz 24/7, no, Charlottesville is not going to be it. Unless you are, say, a student directly associated with the university, so you know where the inside scoop is for the 24/7 life. In general, we roll up the sidewalks at about 9 p.m. on average. Not saying there's not one-offs, not saying you can't find things, but I'm saying, again, if you're wanting that shopping experience, you're wanting that Uber Eats delivery at 3 in the morning, probably not going to be the right area for you. Also, if you really are into and want that franchised food access, we, again, don't really have a lot of the franchise locations. Look, Charlottesville area is a one-off. It's a weird anomaly with a lot of things, and a lot of the stuff probably isn't what you would imagine it should be. But it is what it is, and here we are. I've grown up here. I have helped friends and hundreds of people who have become friends buy, sell, relocate and retire here. And they've been thrilled and happy. People I've helped sell, some I've helped sell so that they can relocate out of the area because they didn't come here with the full knowledge and they didn't like it here. It wasn't a good fit. And more often than not, they just found a better opportunity out of the area. So whatever it is, but I would be honored to chat with you, meet with you, see if we would even be a good fit. But until then, I need you to subscribe and hit that bell. So there you have it. I know you got stuff to do. You need to get on with your day. Like I said, I actually need to get out and meet some clients. We are actually doing the final walkthrough on the home that they have bought. They have actually relocated here from out of state. I will say they came from the Midwest and they have found their peace and serenity and are so excited. And I am so excited for them because one of the things she said was when we were looking at the different houses, she was on the back deck for this house. And she said, Pam, I feel at peace here. And that just spoke to my heart. And honestly, that's what I want for you. So I'm going to get going. I know you got stuff to do. I will see you in the next video. Stick around. Check out some of my other videos. I do stuff on everything. I do small town views, checking out different small towns around the area. I do neighborhood checkouts. I do lifestyle stuff. Really, it's just all for you. So anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.